So page 34 of your student book, page 34 of your textbook. So today we are going to look into the movements of the ocean. What makes the ocean moves? So I think we all know that the oceans and the seas are made out of water. But what makes that water move? So
wind.
there are three kinds of water. There are three kinds of so-called movements of water in the oceans and seas. Firstly, there are the tides. Tides have two kinds, tides and spring tides. And then there are the waves that you might know for surfing, and currents. Currents not referring to the electric current, but another kind of water current.
What's that mean?
We will find out. Yanai, where's your book?
Nani?
Can you sit still?
Nani?
So, the important thing about tides is that you need to know it is controlled by the moon. Wherever the moon goes, the tides there will be stronger. Tides are referring to where the water goes. So there is a magnetic force between the water on Earth and the moon. So wherever the moon goes, more water will be at that area. It can't attract all the water in the world, but the area of water will be closer to the moon. So this is especially obvious when it's nighttime and daytime. In daytime, it is low tide. So when you go to the beach, there isn't much water. But at nighttime, when the moon is there, it is high tide. So the beach you will see is covered with water compared to...
Teacher, I feel like when it's morning, the water is everywhere, but then in the night, the water usually goes very far back.
So that is the difference between some places. Low tide and high tide. Let me see if I can find better pictures.
Teacher, I've seen a low tide before. Teacher, I've seen a low tide before. That's a flood. It's a flood.
So low tide is usually when the water goes away, and high tide is when the water comes in. For most places, daytime is low tide, high tide is nighttime. There are places who have it the opposite way. So it depends on where is that place on Earth and where is the moon. But when the moon and the sun are in the same area, that is called spring tides. Spring tides are even higher than normal tides. Spring tides is the combination of both the power of the sun and the moon pulling the water.
So then water will.
Hold on.
What's a deep tide?
So tide is pretty much meaning when the water follows the moon.
What about the neap tides?
Is there such a thing? So a spring tide is pretty much a stronger version of a normal tide. Wherever the moon goes is where the water will rise more at that area. And when the moon is near the sun and earth is when the water is even higher. Now, waves. I'm sure you guys know what are waves. But what causes waves?
The wind.
Yes, wind. Anything else? So I think most of us know what are waves. Maybe you might know it in another word. There are waves that are very small, like when we go to the beach, it just splash against us. And then there are waves where they are very big and people can go surfing on, but then there are huge waves that can damage people's homes and all that stuff. So if you look at your textbook in the next page, so this is how the waves are formed. First, the wind blows on a big pile of water, and when the wind blows on top, it starts flowing. But that's because when the wind passes the water, it goes round and round and round and round until it reaches no more water and it stops. So it goes round and round and round. So sometimes with the strong wind and the push, it's like pushing a swing. I think all of you have sat on a swing before. The more powerful you push, the bigger the waves. But if you don't push after a while, it will slow down. So if the wind is super strong, if the wind keeps blowing and is super strong, the bigger the waves will be. But if the wind just blows for a while, then the waves will calm down. So there are a few parts of the waves. The down part, when it goes down, is called a trough, some might say. Then when it goes up, it's called a peaking wave when it goes up. But then the thing is, for waves, if you have actually been in a wave pool, or if you have actually gone in the ocean before, you would realize the waves are not pushing you front or back. It is just going anywhere it wants.
Yeah.
That's why boats must have anchors. If not, the boats will go somewhere else. So the waves, it doesn't actually push you to one direction. Sometimes it'll push you left, sometimes it'll push you right, sometimes it'll push you front and back. So these different directions of the waves are called crests. So the crests of the waves sometimes will take you back and front, left and right, and you wouldn't know where to go. Because the winds, all the winds blowing the waves are different winds. There is not only one wind on earth. So that causes different direction of the waves. But that is different from currents. So for waves, it is also created by wind, but for currents is only one direction. For waves, you have many directions.